Hello, my friends. I'm Darth Paradigm. One of the things that you probably wouldn't know about me if you haven't been watching my channel for a really long time, because it's not something I cover very often. But I'm a lifelong Transformers fan, all the way back to what was it, '84 when the Transformers first came out. I think that's when it was, and there are certain characters that will always mean a lot to me, and I tend to lean towards the bad guys and the Vegetas and those types of characters, like Starscream. I love Starscream, Soundwave, a few random Autobots like Blue Streak, but the one series that really gets me going is Beast Wars. And today I had an acquisition. Now, this is probably the penultimate character in all of Beast Wars. To me, one of the greatest heroes in all of Transformers lore, and the story of his heroicism. I don't want to spoil much because I encourage everybody to watch the original Beast Wars series. Now, the animation isn't that great, but the storytelling is sublime. And if it weren't for Beast Wars, there would be no Transformers right now whatsoever. And this character, Dinobot, he arguably was featured in one of the greatest Transformers stories ever told, and that's Code of Hero. I won't tell you one lick about that episode, but I recommend that you watch it. Suffice to say that this is a very complex character, and when I found him today, I was I was very, very surprised indeed, because this is a very difficult figure to get your hands on. Now, I do have some of the other releases from the Transformers lines, the Kingdom, the Kingdom line, where they've been re-releasing some of the original Beast Wars characters. If you recall, I did a video where I showed you Optimus Primal. I just unbox these things. I don't really do a review or anything like that. I don't do the transformations. I just take them out of the package, let you enjoy them as I enjoy them, and that's basically just of it, because that's not really what my channel is all about. But this is just one of those things I like to share, and Dinobot is a very meaningful character to me. So I have Optimus Prime, excellent figure. I have Black Arachnia, phenomenal. Even the new Cheetor, blows away the original Cheetor. And one of the big surprises was Air Razor. Air Razor is just drop dead gorgeous, and these newer iterations of the characters from the show capture their likeness, unlike how the original toys did not at all capture the likeness of their on-screen counterparts. So, you get your requisite impossible to read instruction booklet. I find them impossible to read. I can't, with these colors that they use, I can't, have a hard time differentiating what's going on, but I treat each one of these like a puzzle, and usually if they're well designed, you can figure them out easy enough. So there's Dinobot in all of his glory, and it looks exactly like Dinobot. This is his tail weapon, which he uses to deflect incoming, missiles, and he uses it as a shield, and it's sort of like his version of blaster deflect. And he uses a sword, which usually stores within the tail whip section, and a little hologram in there. Let's take a look at that myself. Oh, it's really nice. It's not really a hologram, it's sort of a prism thing, just a little optical lenticular effect to a degree. And then one of these little useless bits of paraphernalia. So let's get him extracted from his prison here. One must have a pair of scissors readily available when one unboxes these characters. Some of the ties are a little bit on the tight side, but so far this hasn't been too bad. Okay. Key thing is to try to avoid scratching the finish. So have you been freed? Okay. Now, one thing that they do these days is they kind of put a little bit of the backpack into the packaging to secure it into place. I don't really care much for that, but a little bit of finesse, you can usually remove them. And finesse I did. Okay, so let us collect all of the little plastic bits that cannot really be recycled with any kind of reliability. Okay, let's see what Dinobot's got going on. First things first, let's check out the figure. All right. Oh, sorry, the table's gonna move a little bit here. So his face, the sculpt is pretty much dead on. There's no light piping, but they have his face really accurately done. His head is always, even in the cartoon, always seems large compared to his body. So that's actually kind of a bit on the screen accurate side. As far as articulation goes, you have a waist swivel, or rather a elbow swivel, waist swivel, and really the full range of articulation. The fingers, his hands. Okay, so the digits are all on one swivel point here, so everything moves at once, but still, you do have some articulation, and you have a wrist articulation, and another wrist articulation. Very nice, very nice. And as far as the hip goes, yes, the hip articulates. He can look up to a degree. It's on a ball joint. And as far as the legs go, wow, full range there, full range there. There's, can't tell if there is or if there isn't. No, there doesn't seem to be a rotation point here. But there is one here. Sometimes these, when you first get them, it doesn't actually rotate there. Huh. It's gotta be something. Oh, I see where it rotates. It rotates where the ball joint connects here. So that does turn. So that's good. Otherwise, this is going to be an articulation nightmare. Another thing that they do is they generally put little pivots where the ankle is, which is very good. Very good indeed. So what you get with these new figures is rather posable. Dream of an iteration of one of the most phenomenal characters in all of Transformers. Again, as far as I'm concerned. Now, for those of you not in the know, originally, when the Maximals and the Predacons crash land on a planet that's filled to brimming with energon, and has 2 moons, mind you. That was led to they were led there. Rather, the Maximals followed the Predacons there. They were being led by Megatron, not the original Megatron, but Megatron, who took his namesake after the original Megatron from the Great War, had acquired a pair of golden discs, and one I believe was alien in origin, and one was the actual disc that came from Voyager, or for those of you in the Star Trek sphere of things, Voyager. Voyager. I can't remember if it was Voyager 1 or Voyager 2. I think maybe they both had the golden discs that were basically assembled and created by Carl Sagan, and they had information regarding the location of Earth and information about our culture and history and flora, fauna, everything that an alien race, if they were to find it, would want to know about us, because the assumption is that by the time Voyager reaches an ancient civilization, we'd probably be long gone, and it'd be nice to either have someone out there be aware of us or to introduce ourselves. So there's also introductions in every language on the Earth, just saying hello from the children of Earth. You've probably heard of it. Anyway, long story short, the discs led Megatron to an unknown planet, and on this planet there was too much energon for either Maximals or Predacons to survive, so they had to assume beast forms in order to protect the electronic components of their bodies from overloading from energon. And there was a set number of Predacons and a set number of Autobots, or rather Maximals. The Maximals are the descendants of the Autobots, the Predacons are descendants of the Decepticons. And Dinobot was one of the Predacons that changed side. He did not agree with what Megatron was trying to do, so he actually joined the Maximals and kind of evened up the numbers a little bit. So his relationship with the Predacons and the Maximals was tenuous at best. As Rat Trap, one of the Maximals, would put it, once a Pred, always a Pred. And he never quite trusted him until, well, if you watch the series, you can see how that relationship goes on, and it goes to some fabulous places. Okay, so enough talk. Here's the little spinny device. I would imagine that probably just inserts into the... It'll probably go on the other side, actually, but it doesn't really have a mechanism to make it spin. The original toy, actually, you had a little motor and you would push it. It was a kind of a gear activated spring loaded thing, and it would cause this part to spin. So they got rid of that in lieu of accuracy, I would assume. And then Dinobot's requisite weapon of choice, as is mine, is a sword. And I do have them reversed, so I apologize for that. But so this would normally be here, and that would normally be here. And so Dinobot, other than the weapons that you see here, he also uses eye lasers, and that's basically the gist of what he has for armament. And he can transform into a they call it a velociraptor, but as with Jurassic Park, that's not really accurate. Being a bit of a amateur paleontologist, velociraptors were only about that tall. They were about the size of a small dog. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that the raptors that they model the dinosaurs from Jurassic Park from, as well as Dinobot, were actually Deinonychus, which is a much larger raptor species. And but Deinonychus doesn't really sound quite as sexy as Velociraptor. The name Velociraptor just well, obviously it's a much more impressive sounding name. But there you have it. There's Dinobot in all his glory. This figure was $30 retail, and may seem like a lot, but for a toy that there really aren't going to be too many of, and a figure that I hold in high regard, Dinobot's characteristics, his personality was first and foremost based on honor. And I personally, I've been following the Bushido code, and I recommend anybody that doesn't know what Bushido is to look it up on Google. It's a code that I've been following for, it's probably about 6 or 7 years now, if not longer. And it's just is basically the Warrior's Code, which is based on virtue and honor. There's 7 virtues that sort of dictate your everyday behavior and how you treat people and how you respond to how you get treated, and just sort of it's a way for me to live in this world without going a little bit too nuts. And Dinobot was a character who was always striving for honor. He would never do something that he felt was wrong, and if he did something that was wrong, he'd always try to make it right in the end. And it's just a very, very, one of the most well fleshed out and developed characters in all of Transformers, as far as I'm concerned. And here he is in all of his glory and his magnificence. So at some point I'll probably figure out how to transform him, but I'm just gonna enjoy him in maximized or terrorized, depending on whether he's a Predacon or a Maximal at a specific time. I don't know if they don't seem to do the logos on them, but anyway, so yeah, thank you for listening to me ramble on about something other than Star Wars and lightsabers that I'm passionate about. So this is obviously a not saber related video, but I just wanted to share this with you because this is a toy I've been waiting for a long time. Takara came out with a I forget what they call them, the high-end version of Dinobot, and it's just too expensive. I don't like spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on a Transformer when I could be spending that on a lightsaber. But this price point was perfect for me. And if you happen to see one out there in the wild, in the weeds, I recommend picking one up if you're into Beast Wars. So anyway, that pretty much wraps up this video. Thank you for watching, and I will catch you. I'll catch you next time. Y'all have a good rest of the week, and take care.